Which screen? Ready. Dance and music have gone hand in hand for centuries. Both parties are considered art, yet dance is rarely ever seen without its melodic counterpart, leading to the assumption of many that music always leads the dance. In actuality, dancers are not always led by the music, but move through a memorization of choreography. Contemporary artist Jesper Just takes a new approach to this relationship between music and dance in his work Corporealities, utilizing both film and physical space to illustrate how music can be used to literally move dancers' bodies. To intertwine the past and the present, Just Corporealities combines advanced film and dance technology with the soundtrack of Opus 50 Pavane, a classical piano piece from 1988 by Gabriel Favois. The installation leads the viewer through a room featuring fractured LED screens, with parts of the screen extending to the floor and laying beneath the main screen. A video of dancers plays on each screen, but instead of moving themselves to the music, the dancers are in passive positions. An unnerving atmosphere permeates the video as the camera cuts regularly to different scenes of the dancers strewn about the room in clusters, some laying atop one another in piles, while others kneel or stand seemingly motionless. Upon taking a closer look, the viewer can see that the dancers are moving ever so slightly, usually with small tense actions. Just intentions with Corporealities was to have Favois' music literally move the dancers' bodies. And he achieved this by using TENS electrode pads to stimulate their muscles in time with the music. By taking away the usually dynamic movements of the dancers, Just provides a stark contrast between the liveliness of a classical ballet routine and his own machine-led form of dance. In Just Ballet, graceful choreography is replaced with minute, sharp gestures, emphasizing the dissonance between the highly planned dances of professional ballet and Just's method of muscle reaction, creating a dance with the dancers' bodies. Just's new concept of a truly music-led ballet challenges the traditional theme of dance because it turns performers into circuit boards that solely rely on electrical stimulus to move, voiding this art of humanity and prompting the viewer to reevaluate whether the dancer needs autonomy to perform. When Corporealities debuted in New York on January 14, 2020, the two main themes of the installation were addressing the physical stigmas of professional dancers and dehumanizing dance. Both themes are expressed in the work by physically and mentally leading the viewer with many fractured elements. Corporealities draws its audience into the video being shown by moving parts of the screen onto the floor and into the path of the viewer, as well as by having the viewer navigate their way through groups of blocks within the space. By extending portions of the video screen into the space, just makes it harder to discern which body parts being shown on the smaller screen correspond to what body on the main screen. This theme of challenging the surface level biases present in today's dance society becomes apparent as the shapes of the dancers' bodies start to blur together when pieces are removed, effectively dissolving their differences. Furthermore, the space is filled with many blocks to create a path for the viewer. Just weaves the viewer through the exhibit and towards different scenes for the video, funneling them through the path to different set destinations. In an interview with Burton's Osman Kan-Yerbakan about Corporealities, Just describes old romantic English gardens as an inspiration for wanting to subtly lead the viewer through the exhibit. What Just may or may not have planned, though, was the resemblance of this movement to that of electricity through neural pathways in the body, mimicking what the dancers are undergoing in the work's video. Throughout Just's career, he has created works that challenge the status quo. Burton's biography of Just describes his work by saying that he uses the language of cinema to confront and divert the stereotypical Hollywood constructs of masculinity and femininity, as well as the biased representation of minorities and people with disabilities in mainstream culture. In 2004, his piece Lonely Villa explored the concept of interacting with the viewer's emotions and breaks down the stigma surrounding men showing their emotions in the public sphere. 1 year later, Just released True Love Is Yet to Come, an operatic performance that also tackled the way society regards men showing their emotions publicly as taboo. So, within the context of his past works, Corporealities becomes less of a contemporary spectacle and more of a message that invites the viewer to contemplate their stance on modern issues. In focusing his work on the viewer's sentiments and emphasizing the way our society has created stigmas, Just illustrates how we are emotionally affected by these boundaries. Lonely Villa and True Love Is Yet to Come pinpointed the stigma of men showing their emotions, while corporealities is just take on challenging the stereotypically sexualized and hyper-abled bodies of professional dancers. While some artists take inspiration for their work from nature, other artists, like Just, are inspired by the nature that which our society attaches distasteful connotations to rudimentary behavior. Just unprejudiced perspective on the issues that many people refrain from endeavoring to ponder drives him to challenge modern social faux pas. Through this work, Just tries to provoke his audience's skepticism, allowing them to decide for themselves whether or not these stigmas should exist. In his article, Analyzing Just's Present and Past Exhibits, Matthew Lelivre, observed that corporealities places the individual rather than the work at the center of the artist's practice. This contemporary approach to art means that Just is looking past what his intentions to make the piece were, instead visualizing how his viewers will react to it. When an artist surpasses the desire to highlight their technique and substitutes quality with the viewer's response in mind, a deeper and more complex connection is established between the audience and the art's meaning. Just crafts experiences with his art rather than technique-based masterpieces. By shifting the focus of his work to his audience's takeaway from the exhibit, Just has created a career of inviting change in the world of fine arts. That's it.